Hey guys, Yummy here again, and today I thought I'd bring you some gameplay of Battlefield 3. I decided to go back and play that, have some varied gameplay with sniping as well as jets and general rush gameplay. But I really wanted to talk to you guys about what I think is the future of a few games, namely Battlefield and Assassin's Creed, because some of them have some pretty uncertain futures, and I just want to lay down what my thoughts are about Battlefield Hardline, Assassin's Creed, the future Assassin's Creed titles, and maybe even Star Wars Battlefront. Now, let's start out with the least related title, the Assassin's Creed series. Now, recently, in fact, just last week, Assassin's Creed Victory was leaked. In fact, it was completely unintended by Ubisoft and was probably leaked by hackers. And it reveals a Victorian-era set Assassin's Creed game, the mid to late 1800s. I'm not too thrilled about this. If you guys didn't know, I'm actually a pretty huge fan of Assassin's Creed. I've been a fan basically since it came out, and I've had every single Assassin's Creed game except Brotherhood. And the only reason why you haven't seen any on my channel is because I don't have any on PC. The most recent one I've had is Black Flag on the Xbox One. Now, Ubisoft, in my book, has kind of lost a lot of credibility in recent years. They've pretty much shown that they don't really know how to make PC games. Now, Assassin's Creed Black Flag was pretty fantastic, but it wasn't really an Assassin's Creed game. It was more like the Pirates of the Caribbean game that Disney never made. And I'm getting really tired of European set Assassin's Creed games. I might be speaking for a good-sized portion of the Assassin's Creed community whenever I say that. I'm still waiting for that feudal Japan set one. I mean, you can't get much more assassin than ninjas, and every single year that passes, I'm still waiting for that announcement of Japan set Assassin's Creed game, and I just think that would be amazing. Moving on to Battlefield Hardline, it has a lot of people worried. Whenever DICE announced it all those months ago, it was announced to some critique, and people were really worried it was just going to be another Battlefield 4, and this was pretty much instigated by the beta, the surprise beta that we were able to play, and it kind of felt like a reskinning of Battlefield 4. To me, I didn't really see it as much as other people apparently did. I saw how much smoother it was, but yeah, the city was really vacant, and a lot of the mechanics didn't really seem to fit the theme of cops and robbers. But seeing the new gameplay that's been released over the last week, I'm starting to get impressed by it. I personally don't like the theme of cops and robbers that much, but if the gameplay is solid and impressive and fun, most of all, I might end up buying it. It might be a pretty good reviewed title of the Battlefield franchise. People were really skeptical of the Bad Company spin-offs whenever they came out, and now Bad Company 2 is looked on as the best Battlefield game in Battlefield history, but I can remember the disdain people saw it with whenever it was first released. It took a while for it to get the appreciation it deserved, and I definitely put a lot of hours into it, and I feel like that's what's going to happen to Battlefield Hardline. Now, the Battlefield community is seeming to get like really bitchy now. After CTE and everything, where they're giving so much power to the players to make decisions about the game, the players seem to think that they're the most important people and that they're the only ones that matter. And it kind of shocks me sometimes to see just how selfish the gaming community is, and no one seems to recognize the amount of effort that game producers put into their games anymore. I'm getting really tired of reading all of those hate-filled comments about, especially about Hardline on YouTube. And a lot of times I know it's like just trollers, but there's people that are really addressing concerns about the game. And most of the time it's just misinformed cynicism. They complain about how much the game looks like it's going to suck, but without even giving it a chance, and they're saying it's horrible because DICE is making it, completely forgetting that Visceral Studios is making the game, a completely new developer to the first-person shooter. So in all, really need to give the game a chance. You don't know how it's going to turn out. You can't just make an assumption because there's a new studio tackling a new subject, and the Battlefield franchise is going in a new direction, and you can't really criticize that at this point. You need to wait until you play the game and then make your decision. So that's just my thoughts about Hardline. Now on to Star Wars Battlefront, or also known as Battlefront 3, the Battlefront 3 that we were never given all those years ago. Of course, I've been waiting for this game just like any other fan of the Battlefront series. It's been sort of like the Half-Life 3 to me, because I've never played Half-Life, so I was never on that big craze about waiting for Half-Life 3. I was waiting for Battlefront 3, and honestly, it was supposed to come out by Pandemic Studios, the ones that made the first two, in like 2005, to be honest. But the studio went into some hard times and went bankrupt, and the game was never to be until Disney made Star Wars video games available to be made by any company that wants to pay them for it. And so yeah, that's the story of how Star Wars Battlefront came into being. It's being made by DICE, which of course is livening up some skeptics, but I am really looking forward to this title, and I think DICE is going to be able to pull it off. So there we go. Those are some thoughts of mine on 3 upcoming games: Assassin's Creed Victory, Battlefield Hardline, and Star Wars Battlefront. Now, the future of the gaming industry looks pretty bright to me. I think companies are going to end up righting the wrongs that they've made, like Ubisoft and EA. EA might not, but DICE might. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to 2015, especially in the video games coming out next year. So if you guys like this, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And until next time, this is me, Yummy. Goodbye and good hunting.